So, I read Robert Anton Wilson's Quantum Psychology. It was so good. If you've never heard of it before, here's a rundown. Robert Anton Wilson endeavors to show that the probabilistic and uncertainty of the subatomic world can apply just as easily to the macroscopic world that we all observe and live in. The approach is from a more philosophical perspective because there are no real proofs of this. It's actually one of the big mysteries of the universe. How does the quantum level relate to the big stuff? What's the link there? Because it actually creates a lot of strange questions and paradoxes. Here's a rapid fire example of some of them. Light can appear as a particle or a wave depending on how it's observed. Information between two entangled particles seem to be able to travel faster than the speed of light. But the speed of light is the fastest thing in the universe that we know of, so that creates some issues. You can't measure a particle's velocity and position at the same time. You have to pick one, and even then it's all probabilities. Observations like these were made over a century ago. A new science had to be invented to address it because Newtonian mechanics just didn't cut it. So that's how we got quantum. And because it's very counterintuitive and complicated to understand, humans, by and large, as a whole, have yet to absorb and understand this information and what it could mean for our reality. Particles that can only be explained using quantum theory create our atoms, which create our brains. Our brains, in turn, create our thoughts. And these thoughts are telling us that quantum theory doesn't make sense, in that they defy logical observations. So how can that be? Wilson insisted that it's not the quantum level that needs to be recontextualized now. It's our psychology. This is because even in social sciences, objectivity is actually as difficult to achieve with human beings in research as it is with particles. Often, our role as an observer is far more limiting than we'd like to believe. Our judgments are based on prejudices, and our minds will fill in information and patterns where those things don't even exist. It would rather be wrong than have no answer at all. What exactly happens to allow us to experience the world? Robert Anton Wilson says, "We do not react to information, but experience transactions with information." Our experience is not the world. Our experience is encoded by our nervous system. It gives an apprehension of data in turn received from the senses and the tools that we've built, which are really only an extension of our senses. So Wilson is making the case that there is no singular reality. That's the experimental result from the quantum level, at least. There are no absolutes, only probabilities. You can't say light is a wave or light is a particle. You can say light seems to be a wave under these conditions and seems to be a particle under other conditions. Everything we see, which we think of as existing externally, actually exists internally, inside our heads. The brain does not receive raw data, but edits data as it receives it.